Also in our alternative lifestyle series, how to massage your mind and body with the ancient Tibetan bowls. Now you may be wondering why we have all these bowls on the floor and my friend Glenn again. They are in fact Tibetan singing bowls, and we need them because according to therapist Frank Perry, they can help you relax and balance your energy flow. And here he is again, Glenn Farrell, who's been getting teased mercilessly at work, I gather. He's back to try this out. But thank you very much for coming. Frank, this all looks rather sort of weird, magical and a bit hippie. So try and explain in the short time you've got what this can do. What can it do for people when they come along to you?
Well, basically it's also concerned with self-knowledge and self-development. So it can, the fundamental thing is when they strike these sounds, they really go on for a long time. So they would meditate on listening to the sound and following it into the silence. So in a way, we're trying to take people back down into silence. We live in such a busy world and we're so rushing around. So trying to come into contact, there we can hear the voice of our true self, which has all the answers. They'll go on for 2 minutes in a silent room.
That's still ringing?
Yeah.
So obviously we can't demonstrate you know, Glenn here's not going to come away saying wow, no. Because in the short time, really, it's very dependent on stillness and silence and relaxation. But can you just start a little, just do a little bit of work where none of us will talk, and we'll see what the immediate impact is on Glenn, because he's tried out some very strange things in the last couple of weeks, so let's see what this does.
Well, I would normally start using this bowl, which is called a space cleansing bowl. And all that really means is that it clears the energy out so that I can focus on this person's energy, whoever's in front of me at the time. And whilst this is being played, I would also be praying normally and sort of attuning myself to the healing energies. This is called a shining star bowl. A very thin piece of violet rosewood.
Beautiful.
It's only that stick will produce that sound.
Should he be closing his eyes and?
It's probably a good idea if he does close his eyes when we start. And what I would do usually is play. This is a little ritual that it's the same for everyone. We would start playing 3 times this pair, and usually I'd let those go almost to silence before I strike them again. And then we would working our way up. And whilst that's going on, each pair would be played 3 times, and I'd wait until the energy had gone before I move on to the next pair usually. And at that point I'm then looking to see where the blocks are and where the problems are. Because then I'm choosing what I'm going to do next, because this part is like a ritual.
So it's about sourcing the energy of a person.
It's very much concerned with energy, yes. And so often I've been taught, I trained in spiritual healing in 1970, so I've been taught that all dis-ease is in the soul, really.
Dis-ease?
Dis-ease, yes, precisely.
Not being easy
not at
with
ease,
yourself.
That's right. So there's something we're not accepting in our life. Perhaps, it could be something, some energy that we're not quite happy with. So another thing with these is to just let go, to relax and go with the flow, and try and find some way of existing with this other energy. So that's why it's also about change sometimes, helping someone to take a step forward or to come out of their shell a bit. And other times it's taking somebody back. It's more comforting. So it could be more challenging or more comforting.
Depending, it's getting a balance.
Yes, it's looking at the energy, seeing what the problem is. People are
getting into these things more. They don't see them as quite so wacky, do they?
I hope not, no. There's lots of people come along and, we do lots of healing sessions.
All right, let's show me something else. What do you do with the water? There's something over there with water in it.
Well, yes, this one really is to demonstrate, it actually demonstrates the acoustics of the bowls. And what would happen, this is called a fountain bowl. It's very rare, it's very special, and there's a line on the inside of the bowl that shows you the exact amount of water to put in. And then when you're striking it, you can see this in 4 corners.
Look at that, vibration.
And when you think that the body is 2/3 water, you see how sound can get into all these atoms and particles and start to rearrange their shape.
Right, do a bit more work on Glenn here, just to give him a feeling of this.
Well, I would move to this one next. What I would do is move to a bowl which is for the throat chakra. The throat is there, and from there the energy will go right throughout his whole aura.
So we
I
have
would
some
start
silence
striking
for this.
And then we use colour as well. This bowl produces a blue colour, and it's blue that I'm wanting to send down his body. I have another one which is green, one which is gold, one which is white, and I will choose which of those four at this point I would start to send. And this is called Song of the Crystal Bowl. It has a very crystal sound, very crystal clear sound. This is also what we call a yang bowl. It has a very thick lip, as opposed to a yin bowl, which has a very thin lip.
Yin and yang, male and female.
Yes,
yeah.
precisely.
You have these bowls are incredibly old, aren't they?
This one is over 800 years old.
Is it really? 800 years old, that
yeah,
one?
and this one. This has a lot of gold in, and from the patina on the inside, well, various lamas and specialists and myself estimate this one to be in excess of 800 years old. They would be made of the 7 metals to do with the 7 planets, and the ancient alchemists linked the 7 planets with the 7 cervical vertebrae of the neck, which of course links head and body or male, female. So the whole thing is a lot to do with linking male and female energies.
And how many of these bowls have you got, Frank?
About 165.
They must be worth a fortune.
Yeah,
and nobody's allowed to touch
priceless.
them but you, are they?
No, well, there are 3 categories of bowls. There are purely physical bowls, which I don't mind people touching. Then there are ones that are psycho-spiritually charged, and then there are ones that are used in the higher forms of tantric Tibetan Buddhism. They are dedicated to specific deities. So that's
Basically,
for deity yoga.
all these things are an attempt to find sort of personal peace and happiness, aren't they?
Well, you see, the ancient Chinese, they speak about the 5 elements, and they actually have music for those different elements. And you can actually get CDs of Chinese orchestral music for Feng Shui to play in your home.
Yeah, could you show us finally just something else to give Glenn a feeling of what
I'll play this little group of yin and yang, finishing with a yang bowl.
Can anybody do this? I mean, there's no danger to anybody who's ill.
People that maybe suffer from epileptic fits, it would be good to tell me, because some of these sounds could spark off.
And you would normally do 90 minutes in virtual perfect silence, apart from the purity of the beautiful sounds.
Well, as silent as it can be. If it's in London, then there's traffic.
Glenn, because we're running out of time, but it's given us a taste of the sort of serenity of it. Glenn, can you imagine spending 90 minutes lying here listening to it?
Yes, very peaceful actually, very calming. Feels really good. And
the music helps to focus you, to go inside yourself.
Just really relaxing. It's spooky sort of sound, really peaceful feeling. That's
what you were hoping to achieve.
Yeah, cool.
Well, I have to say that the boys down at where is it you work?
Fully Oil Refinery, PTF.
I gather that it's been causing something of a stir that Glenn has been volunteering to do these. Goodness knows what they're going to say about this, but you found some good in it.
Yeah.
Leave us with one of these beautiful noises, will you, Frank? Thank you very much. Sadly, time has beaten us again, but do join us again tomorrow.